Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in our WCW What If series in TEW 2020. CR Daredevil is the name, and today we are at Clash of Champions here in 1997, January 1997 to be exact. It is the Clash of the Champions happening, and a lot of big matches happening tonight, including the big match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, Bret Hart defending against Cactus Jack. The United States Championship is on the line. The tag team titles are on the line. The TV titles on the line. The Women's World Championship is on the line. And also that big six-man tag match. We are going to jump into the action, though, as we have an opening video package kind of highlighting a few of the matches happening tonight that I just kind of went over there. I do want to point out, I obviously you'll see it when we get to the halfway point or whatever, but at the end of the last episode, I was back and forth about Sean Waltman, whether I was going to send him to rehab or not. I didn't know. I've been playing this game for, I played 2016 for at least a good year or two, and then I've been playing 2020 since it came out. So I've been playing TW for at least a good few years now. Obviously with 2016 it was a little different, but I've been playing this game since 2020, that is, since it came out, and I was unaware that you could actually talk somebody out of doing drugs. I was unaware that that was a thing. So that's what we did. We managed to talk Sean Waltman out of being we just talked to the worker, and it gave us the option to ask him to stop doing hard drugs, and he simply said yes. So we didn't have to send him to rehab. We just simply gave him a stern warning, made Jerry Lynn and Paul Levesque happy because they're friends with them, and then we just told him to stop doing the drugs, and he said okay. So he's not a hard drug user anymore. I didn't realize it was that easy. If I'd known that, I probably would have sent as many people to rehab as I did. But now, obviously, because we're Eric Bischoff at this point, so we probably have a little bit more pull than if you're playing some character who doesn't have that quite that reputation. But still, it's good to know that that's a thing heading forward. So maybe I can tell people to stop doing drugs, and I won't have to worry about sending them to rehab anymore. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, so Sean Waltman is competing tonight in the tag team title match, and won't be really going anywhere anytime soon. So there's that. At least until unless he gets injured. But that's hopefully, crossing our fingers, not happening. Anyway, video package happening. 77 rating for that. We open up 81,000 people in attendance for this Clash of the Champions because the game doesn't want to recognize that this is more of a B-level pay-per-view. So whatever. But we'd open up our Clash of the Champions match-wise with our television title matchup, which features Dean Malenko defeating Meng in 11:39 by submission with a Texas Cloverleaf. We're going to say Meng passed out in the Texas Cloverleaf, not that he submitted. Meng's defense number 6 of the television championship. He does suffer turf toe. I don't remember how long that puts him out for. It might be something he can work through, but I don't think it's one of those like long-term injuries. I think if he can't work, I think it's only like a few weeks. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It only got a 63 rating for the match, though, which I'm not exactly sure what happened there, because both men... lack of an associated storyline, yeah, because the TV title storyline isn't involved in this match. Probably should have made it involved in the match, but whatever. Still not too bad for the TV title opener contest there. But Dean Malenko able to retain the championship and makes defense number 6 of the championship. However, afterwards, Dean Malenko celebrating the victory until he turns around and finds himself standing face to face with Steven Regal. Regal looks at the championship before back at Malenko. The two have a bit of a stare down with each other before the show goes elsewhere. So it looks like we now know who Steven Regal's targeting when it comes to the prizes in WCW, so to speak. He's going to challenge for the television championship, which he was challenging for at one point in time. I don't believe he was the champion. My memory's failing me at the moment, but I don't believe he ever held the championship, but I know he challenged for it at one point in time. I think when he was with the Blue Bloods, he was strictly just I was just focusing on him being tag champs, and kind of going from there. But it'll be interesting to see, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Dean Malenko and Steven Regal having matches in 1997 against each other just sounds like great stuff to me. I mean, I cannot wait for the potential technical matches that these two could have with each other. But 80 rating, good stuff there. We move on to our U.S. title matchup, as in About That had great heat and good wrestling in an 87 rated matchup. My God. Paul Levesque defeats Dustin Rhodes in 1408 by pinfall with a pedigree, thanks to Steve Austin accidentally hitting Dustin Rhodes at the end of the matchup. Steve Austin came running down the ringside looking like he was going to get revenge on Paul Levesque. Ended up accidentally hitting Dustin Rhodes, knocking him loopy enough to get caught up in the pedigree. Paul Levesque makes defense number 1 of the United States Championship. 87 rating for the match. 87 from Dustin Rhodes. 70 from Paul Levesque. Levesque has a hot new move. We're gonna say that the pedigree is the hot new move. But yeah, 87 rating for our U.S. title matchup. That's really good. Good stuff there. After that, we have Paul Levesque running away with the United States Championship while Steve Austin looks upset about Paul Levesque getting away from him. Dustin Rhodes comes to after that and confronts Austin about what just happened. And Austin says he's not going to apologize, but he didn't mean for that to happen. He didn't mean to cost Dustin the championship. Dustin gets upset and pushes Austin before leaving the ring. So it looks like might be some issues there between Dustin Rhodes and Steve Austin. Might end up. It clearly seems like the this United States Championship three-way thing going on here is not anywhere close to being done, because Austin has problems with Levesque, and now Dustin seems to have some problems with Austin, so we'll have to see what that leads to in the future. Then after that, 57 rating. I'll take that, honestly. I will take that. As in About That had subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Magoo Mikudo defeats Bull Nakano in 11:15 by pinfall with a fast roll-up, making defense number 1 of the WCW Women's World Championship. Surprising result there. Bull Nakano was in control for most of the matchup there, but Kudo was able to fight, stay alive and fight when she could, and she was able to take advantage of a missed top rope leg drop from Bull Nakano, and able to roll her up with after that to get the 3 count. So big victory for Megumi Kudo as she makes defense number 1 of the Women's World Championship. 57 rating, 58 from Kudo, 51 from Bull Nakano, and there you go. So good stuff there. After the match, though, because Bull Nakano is obviously not going to take a loss sitting down at all, she decides to attack Megumi Kudo, beating her down, leaving her laid out. Gets a 40 rating. Not strong, but it is what it is. But yeah, so Kudo was able to retain the championship, but Nakano still walks away, while Kudo has to be kind of helped to the back after her victory. We move on from that to our tag team title matchup, in a 62 rated matchup, which that's kind of a little rough, probably because the tag title storyline wasn't involved in it, so that hurt it a little bit. But nevertheless, a decent matchup. The New World Order defeat the Outlaws in 10:16 when Sean Waltman pinned Brett Smith with a moonsault, making defense number 5 of the World Tag Team titles. 62 rating. Waltman and Lynn both with a 71, Wesson with a 57, Brett Smith with 53. The Outlaws tried to get it done against the New World Order, but could not stop them from making defense number 5 of the tag title. So, 2 down, 1 to go when it comes to the New World Order's championship matches. We'll have to see how the main event plays out. After that, though, we have our big 6-person tag team matchup. Gets an 81 rating, which is pretty good, as Al Snow, Vader, and the Giant defeat Johnny B. Bad, Diamond Dallas Page, and Sting in 14:02. When the Giant pinned Johnny B. Bad with a choke slam. 81, I'll take it. Al Snow was the weakest link, so to speak, and he only had a 61 rating, so that's not bad. 65 from Bad, 86 from Giant, 78 from Vader, Sting with an 80, Page with an 80. So a pretty good matchup there, featuring 3 kind of one-on-one feuds getting merged into one big 6-man tag team matchup. And the heels get the victory, as Giant is able to choke slam Johnny B. Bad and get the victory for his team. clearly doesn't give a damn about whether his team won or not. He just only cares about whether he won. But they were still able to get the victory. So some momentum on the side of Snow, Vader, and the Giant in their respective feuds. After that, we get a quick promo from Eddie Guerrero. He says he's willing to jump through whatever hoops Ric Flair has to offer because he wants to prove himself here in WCW. What better way to do so than to defeat the former multi-time world champion himself? Guerrero says that if he has to go through Bagwell to get to Flair in due time, then so be it. He'll take on everyone if it means he gets another shot at the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So very strong rated promo here from Eddie Guerrero, as he's just kind of making it clear that he is willing to do whatever it's going to take to get another shot at the title. And if he has to jump through hoops that Ric Flair has set up to get that match with Ric Flair to, eventually beat him and really get his level raised up, I guess. I'm not exactly sure how the best way to say that is, but to get on the same level as Ric Flair, then so be it. Very strong promo there from Eddie Guerrero. Then we get a quick video hyping up the matchup, the main event that is between Bret Hart and Cactus Jack. See Cactus Jack winning the match at Starrcade to become their more contender for the title. We see Bret Hart winning the title. We see some of the stuff that the NWO has been doing over the last few months. All that builds up to a 92 rated matchup. Gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed by that. I was really hoping for something better than a 92. I guess it probably would have had to make it longer. That probably would have been the only way to really make that better, is if I made it longer. Because I think if it's under 21 minutes, I think you are the max you can get is a 92 rating. So if I'd made that like a 21 minute matchup or something like that, there's a very good chance that could have been a 100 rated matchup, honestly. But as it is, and about the head sensational wrestling of fantastic heat, Bret Hart is able to defeat Cactus Jack in 1642 by submission with a sharpshooter, making defense number 1 of the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. As you see, the U.S. title storyline was advanced because at ringside was Savage and Austin in Cactus's corner, as well as pretty much the entire NWO was in Bret's corner. But at the end of the day, Bret Hart was able to get the job done and get the victory. Oh, I guess it was penalized because of the low heat for both storylines as well. So if those storylines had higher heat, then there's a chance that that rating would have been higher as well. But it is what it is. I'll take it. I'll still take a 92 rating. I can't, if that's your main event rating, you can't complain, honestly. You really can't complain about that. After that, in an 85 rating, it's basically just the New World Order celebrating Bret Hart's victory and going 3 for 3 yet again on pay-per-view as Austin and Savage checks on Cactus Jack. New World Order celebrate another successful night as commentators talk about if there's anything that can be done to stop the group at this point. 85 rating, just kind of another night of the NWO becoming victorious at the end of it, and whether WCW can do anything at this point to stop them. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. 90 rating for the show. Increase our popularity in 30 regions. Restrictions in Mexico over because our Mexican pay-per-view provider is not a strong one. But good stuff there overall. Cannot complain about that show at all, really. I was hoping for a slightly better main event, but other than that, I cannot complain about that show at all. That might have actually been better than Starrcade, if I remember right. I'll have to check that really quick after this. Let me do that really quick. Yep. It was better than Starrcade. Starrcade had an 86, so that was our best. That was better than our Starrcade show, which is saying something. But yeah, there was that. Check the. Okay, so Dean Malenko just got turf toe. It's being worked through. He's only out for 6 days technically, so he'll be fine. He will be fine. Yeah. I do wish that I had known about the being able to talk to them thing because, as you see, rehab wise, I have 5 people in rehab right now. So I wish I had known about that. That would have been great to see. Steven Regal, as you see there, just under 12 months left of his injury that he's going to be working through. Dynamite Kasani is another member of our Kansai is another member of our women's division that we hired, but she was injured when we hired her, so we're waiting for her to come back, and she'll be hopefully having some success in WCW. So we'll kind of see how that is. Arn Anderson's still on hiatus. We have no idea when he's coming back, if he does. But as you can see, we're about to get Jesse James Armstrong and Big Bubba Rogers back from rehab at this point. About another month or so. I have no idea what I'm doing with either one of them at this point. Especially Rogers. Like, Jesse James Armstrong, I have some plans for. I do have some minor plans for him when he comes back. But Big Bubba Rogers, I have no idea what the heck I'm going to do with him when he comes back. He's probably just going to be kind of somebody I use to put other people over. I don't know. I haven't really figured that part out. But big stuff there. However, I have to point something else out because I just saw it as I was getting ready to end this episode. It didn't happen after Nitro. So, with that Clash of Champions, it is official, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people out there. It is official. WCW, in January of 1997, has taken over the #1 spot in the entire world. We have officially surpassed the WWF when it comes to our fans in the entire world. So we couldn't get it done quite at the end of 1996, but it just took a couple weeks afterwards, and we passed them. Now, granted, we don't have another pay-per-view in January, and they do, so there's a chance that when they run their pay-per-view, if it's successful enough, they might bump themselves back up again. But this means that we're right there neck and neck with them. So we keep putting on really great shows, especially weekly shows like that. There's a chance that they're going to get left behind in the dust that when it comes to us. So good stuff there. Super excited to see that. Hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am about that, as we are on fire at this point. We're officially #1, and we'll have to see how things play out from here. But thank you all for watching. I definitely appreciate it, and we will see you Monday night for another episode of Monday Nitro.